When you say, for instance, I love whiskey, we know that whiskey is not something that will grant us freedom. If you get addicted to alcohol, you lose your freedom. And you remove the freedom from the person you love, maybe yourself. And if freedom is not there, joy is not there, compassion is not there, loving kindness is not there. So if one thing is not there, the three other things will not be there also. That is why we speak of the nature of interbeing of these four elements of love. If one of the four developed truly, and the three others will develop also. That is the nature of interbeing of the four unlimited minds. Because these four elements are sometimes called the unlimited minds, because you can develop it always. They can grow larger and larger, and they can embrace everyone, every living being in the world. And the Buddha is described as someone who has Maha Maitri, Maha Karuna, great love, great loving kindness, great compassion, great joy, and great freedom. These are the four unlimited minds, immeasurable. And this teaching is the teaching of love in Buddhism. Buddhist meditation has been described as stopping, calming, and deep looking. You cannot practice deep looking unless you stop running, and begin to dwell in the present moment. I don't need to run into the future in order to have happiness. My true home is in the here and the now. And as we train ourselves to dwell in the present moment, we begin to see things more deeply. First, we may have the notion that there is only suffering, pain in the present moment. Of course, suffering and pain is there. But something else is there also. Stability, peace, and freedom is there also. Happiness could not be possible without peace in our heart. The children, although they are still small, but they need peace. We know that peace, stability, and some freedom are essential for our true happiness. And the practice is to bring to us the energy of peace, of stability, and of freedom. And when you go back to the present moment, you touch that moment deeply, you'll be able to touch peace, the stability, and the freedom that is there. maybe covered up by worries, fear, anger, and so on. When you go back to yourself, to the present moment, with the energy of mindfulness, you would not be afraid of encountering your pain, your sorrow, your fear. We are made of the 5 elements: form, feelings, mental perceptions, mental formations, and consciousness. And that is the territory, our territory. We are the king, we are the queen ruling over the territory of the 5 aggregates, the 5 elements. But we have the tendency to get away from our territory. We want to seek refuge elsewhere because we have the impression that if we go back to our kingdom, we will have to suffer because maybe there is a war in our own kingdom. There is pain, there is fear, there is anxiety in our kingdom. That is why our daily practice is to get away from our territory and take refuge in something else, to forget. And the practice that we do is the opposite. We go back to ourselves, to our true home, and try to rearrange the situation, to make peace within our territory. When we go to the bar and get some alcohol to drink, that is because we want to escape the pain, the sorrow in us. If we turn on our television set, it may be because we don't want to be with ourselves. We want to cover up our pain, our sorrow. We want to watch a program of television, and we know that sometimes the program is not so good, but we continue to watch because we don't want to go home and to encounter the pain, the sorrow in us. And sometimes we pick up a book to read, not exactly because we are interested in the book, but we want to take refuge in the book in order to forget the pain, the suffering in us. But to practice means you are no longer afraid. You want to go home and restore the order, the harmony, the peace, and the joy that seemed to have been lost within the territory of your 5 elements. And the secret of your success is the energy of mindfulness. Because with the energy of mindfulness, you will not be afraid to go home and encounter what is there. Mindfulness means the capacity to be aware of what is going on. Mindfulness is the energy of being there, really. Mindfulness is to practice being there. If you love and if you really care for someone, to take care of someone, you have to be there because the person you love needs your true presence. And my definition of mindfulness is to be there, to produce your true presence. So if you practice mindful breathing, breathing in, I know that I am there. Breathing out, I smile to myself. Suddenly your body and your mind come together and you become fully present in the present moment. And you go to the person you love, you look at her, you look at him, and you say, darling, I am really there for you. I am really here for you. And that is the practice of mindfulness, offering the person you love your true presence. Because the greatest gift you can make to your beloved one is your presence, your true presence. There is someone else that needs your presence, your true presence. That's yourself. You may have been away from him or her for a long time. You have not been there for yourself. You always try to run away from yourself. You have to go home, go back to yourself, and offer yourself your true presence. This is the practice of mindfulness also. And that energy has the capacity of embracing your pain, your sorrow, so that your pain and your sorrow will be lessened. You alleviate your suffering. You know that when the person you love suffers, she needs your presence. And before you can do something to help him or her, your true presence already relieve a lot of her or his suffering. The same thing is true with you, with yourself. Your true presence offered to yourself can be already very healing. And to practice mindful breathing, mindful walking, and to offer your true presence to yourself is the first act of love.